Hey everybody, it's Jimmy back again with another mini JCW Countryman video, I guess. Finally, I'm going to do my recap, kind of five things I love about my JCW and five things I don't love as much about my JCW. I've actually hit the 4,500 mile marker on my good old Clyde. Got him at the very end of October of 2019, and now I've had him, let's see, December, January. Oh crap, only like 2.5 months, really, 3 months total. So I figured after I've been driving him so much and using him to do a quick recap, kind of about some of the things I like, some things I don't like, and just overall experience, I guess. So yeah, overall speaking, a recap. My 2020 JCW Countryman. I bought it in end of October. I ordered it actually in the end of August, kind of for my birthday, present for myself, and to replace my R58 Bonnie I had. Uh, Honestly, it's been great so far. We've had quite a few snow days and crappy inclement weather days, and it's handled like a champ in all those conditions. Um, yeah, it's a really a very good daily driver, I'd say. I thought, and the size of it actually, it doesn't seem that big in my opinion. I mean, it's a lot bigger than when I was driving. I had a two-seater, no back seat at all, two-door coupe. So I mean, I went from the extreme small end of the Mini to the extreme large end of the Mini, as some would say, maxi, whatever purists that don't understand how safety crash regulations make all cars bigger. Yeah, that's a whole different podcast right there, blog. But yeah, I mean, handling wise, it feels amazing on corners still. I can take corners like I could with my R58 without issues. Except now I have all the drive, so I've yet to hear my wheels even spin or squeal even taking corners hard. Like I can do clover leaves at around 45 miles an hour to 50 actually without any slip or squeal. You can definitely feel the body roll, like I said in my other videos. You know, it's higher up, higher center of gravity, more clearance, but overall speaking, it still handles like a Mini. I mean, it's just a bigger, more powerful Mini, really, when it comes down to it. But so I figured let's go through my five things that I love about the 2020 JCW Countryman's, and then we'll hit up the five things I don't love about my JCW Countryman. So number one, obviously, the reason why a lot of us are getting 2020 JCWs, the power, the torque, the all four are amazing. They all go together so well. Having 300 horsepower and was it 332 pounds per feet of torque really makes it feel like you don't ever. It's like you can get into a lane if you need to get in a lane, or if you need to get up to speed, you can get up to speed really fast. 40 to 60, that range, you can stomp it, drop it down a gear, stomp on it, and it will fly. I mean, you can easily be going way over the speed limit very fast. So in that regard, I definitely need to take it to the track this spring here. So I'm planning to do the BMW clinic they have here in Minnesota. And I believe there'll be track times down there in a autocross, I think, course and everything. I've heard it's really fun, and a lot of mini owners go do it too with a lot of the BMW people. So it should be fun to see if I can get a GP2 owner there to compare our times with. I think they're gonna beat me still, even though I've been kind of talking shit to them. Number two things I love is the interior build quality, and just the interior and the navigation and the infotainment system are amazing. I mean, they're good. I did opt for the Mini Yours leather versus going with the JCW sports seats. I went the Mini Yours mainly for the fact that they're power, and it's a very nice soft leather. One thing I didn't like about these JCW sports seats was the headrests weren't adjustable. So for my passengers, they might not be nearly as comfortable for my dad, who's a kind of a bigger guy too. And so it gives them a little more flexibility there. And let's see here. The ambient lighting, like all minis, awesome. I mean, it's so much fun seeing it all the interior lights flash red for like a split second when I go to sport mode, and then back to the normal ambience. Really adds to it. I did also disable the ASD, which is active sound design, aka piped in engine noise. That's one thing with the new 2020 JCWs at least I've noticed, is that the interior sound deadening and dampening is really good. Like you don't hear too much noise outside of from outside, and that's kind of in turn why they pipe in the noise because of the sound insulation they have. But me, I'm a purist. I want to hear only the noise that my car's making, not what the stereo speakers are piping in. So I turned that off like within a week of owning with the Bimmer Code app, which recommended. A rare thing people don't talk about and complain about more than anything is that I love how it has buttons, like physical buttons for the most standard, all the major standard things like HVAC or your heating, cooling, temperatures, dual climate zones, buttons. Toggle switch even for dimming brightness. I think there's 6 hotkeys you can assign to any function within the infotainment system, which is beautiful. I used the first one to program it to be my home, so when I hit that button, instantly my navigation will set up a route to get me back to my place, which is very convenient when you're driving around and just want to get home the fastest way. Fourth thing I love, oh man, that audio system, the HK, the Harman Kardon 12 speaker system is really good. I mean, there's good low-end bass if you're using high-quality audio files. The high ends are good. It's very good about making you feel like the driver and the passenger front seats are like the sound, like you're in the center. It's very good about doing the like kind of fake virtual, I guess, Dolby kind of surround sound almost. I kind of wonder too if it's because I turned off the ASD where there's no piping in of noise through the speakers, that it's all audio. And I do love the fact that I can put FLAC audio onto a USB drive and plug it in. Beautiful that way. Beautiful. And the fifth thing I really love is that, like I said, touched on earlier, is that it's big, much bigger, much more usable, and actually much more, what's the word we're looking for? It's a boring word. It's just better for everyday use, I guess, you know. But the thing is, it still feels like a Mini. Like, the acceleration and the exhaust sounds really good when you're accelerating hard. Gives you little pops and all that stuff. But we'll get to that in my things I don't like coming up here shortly. But yeah, overall, it's a bigger SUV. It's a bigger Mini, but it's a smaller SUV still in all regards when compared to other just normal size ones. It's about the size of a RAV4. And, you know, but it has all that funness that is the Mini, so. But on the flip side now, though, well, let's be honest, there are always things that we don't like about cars that we love. Number one thing, I'd say kind of annoys me a little, is a combination of two things, one and two things I don't really like, is the lack of burple and popping when actually driving, and just like older Minis, when the way the tune was, you'd hit the gas, let off the gas, and you'd deaccelerate, and you'd get the popping and burpling popping at around 3,000 RPMs, I think it was, no, 26 to 3,000, and then 35 to 4,000. Whereas on the new, at least my 2020 JCW Countryman, if you rev it in park, you'll get crazy popping. But if you actually are driving, the only time you really get any pops out of it is if you're over about 4,000 RPMs and deaccelerating, or if you're doing a hard downshift from like, let's say 5th to 4th, and when you're in 5th gear, you're at about, let's say, 3,800 RPMs. Downshift, it's going to force the rev limiter up to about 4,200 RPMs, which will then give you a little pop when you do the downshift. So I haven't really driven it too aggressively, though. I mean, even though I do drive fast, but I haven't really done it like I was on a track, since obviously I'm not on track, and I'd like to leave it that way. Be a good boy. So that's one of the big things. And another thing too with 1 and 2 is there's definitely some turbo lag when you're accelerating from a direct stop. In first gear, you'll notice it. But after you get past that initial turbo lag, there's basically zero turbo lag anywhere else after that. Like once you're over 20, when you want to get to 40, it's easy to get there instantly without any delay when you hit the gas. So just a minor thing. Number third thing I wish that I don't really necessarily love is I wish the adaptive suspension had a little bit softer setting for normal, or maybe a third setting for eco mode or normal, where you could have it much softer. The normal mode suspension. Oh no, my Vector's alive. The normal mode suspension is it's pretty stiff still, but compared to any sport suspensions on like my previous Mini or the other ones without adaptive suspension, it's not that bad. It's still decent. You're gonna feel bumps like you will in Minnesota because we have crappy roads in the winter and potholes and everything. But overall, I do kind of wish there was just one level below softer for suspension. But I think that's been said from X1 owners and X2 owners too, and other JCW owners. So who knows? Maybe there's a tune that can do that. But if not, it's livable. It's not horrible. It's not going to be like you're driving a big old F-150. That kind of suspension, very nice and soft. But then again, you can't take an F-150 through a cloverleaf at 50 miles an hour either. So par for the course of sports suspension. I guess the fourth and fifth things that I don't really necessarily love is the fact that the Mini Connected app for iOS, it's okay. I mean, I can do remote lock, unlock, sound my horn, I think turn my lights off and set like a scheduled ventilation where I can turn the heat on or the AC on and off. But there's no remote start options that way, which is a bummer because BMW has it in their systems. The Amazon Alexa integration, it works one way, like I can do commands and it will turn on my lights here, but the app itself in my car will tell me that it can't connect, even though it has connected. So I mean, that's a little issue. And I guess the last thing is that I expect for the money I paid that my head unit would be able to play video from USB, like 2016 to 2019 Countryman's can. But unfortunately, we have an X1, I guess, head unit in our 2020 JCWs, which sadly I've confirmed with Mini, Vimmer Code app, and a few other OBD2 coders that there's no way to code that in. It's just doesn't support it. So, oh well. I mean, that's a minor thing. But overall speaking, 4,500 miles on it, zero regrets, zero remorse. It's an amazing daily driver. I get into my car, into my Mini, my Clyde every day, and I smile like I do in like I did in my Bonnie. But the smile I get from Clyde isn't the pure joy. It's just the overallness of how good it is as a Mini. I mean, the difference between 2013 and 2020 right now, between R and F series, it's night and day, honestly. I mean, I thought my Bonnie, which was a 2013 R58S, I thought that had a very nice interior, but this Countryman's interior it's BMW grade premium. It's luxury, I would say. It's weird why a lot of Mini owners they complain about the high price of a Mini, but in all reality, what Mini's been trying to do is separate itself from all the hot hatch makers out there and being a luxury hot hatch in a way. So with that, you get a higher price tag on it. So, anyhow. So yeah, 4,500 miles. Jimmy's still in love. 2 thumbs up. Clyde's a champ. Love that guy. That color's beautiful. I'm hoping to get the Remus upgraded exhaust, active dynamic exhaust, hopefully in the next month or two. Kind of depends on when they actually have it done, the new revision done. I probably am going to be like one of the first people that will have it, hopefully. But at the same time, that's kind of a bad thing because I'll have to work with Remus and my garage to get it installed and to tweak it if there's issues or whatever. But yeah, so if you have any questions about anything on the 2020 JCW Countryman's, please post comments. I always try to be very active on my commenting parts and answering any questions. And yeah, if you have the money, want to get a big mini, this is your mini to get. It's a blast. It's a hoot. And I can't wait to try to finally get on a track and see how it really handles on those corners. So, anyway, thanks for stopping by. Peace.